24 made threes tonight for the Cavaliers on 45 attempts. We already mentioned the 24 is an NBA Finals record. Were they just shooting the ball better tonight, or were they getting better looks somehow based on what they were doing?
I think they were getting better looks because we have to give the Warriors defense no credit on some of these. But also I think it was just desperation, and they came out and they knocked down some big shots. I think you just have to give them credit for not being afraid to take some of these shots. And then, like you say, a lot of it, or like I just said, a lot of it was just open looks for this team. But LeBron getting those assists, I mean, the one in the paint off the backboard is different. But right here, he was in the post posting up. And when he does that, it takes so many eyes to put on him that, of course, you're going to have somebody open because one of the strongest players in the world is in the painted area, and it's an easy shot. So he should do more.
You know what's interesting to me? He posts up Iguodala, but he doesn't post up Kevin Durant.
And Durant is lighter.
He's lighter, like 20, 30 pounds. Yeah. And we're screaming, go in the post, go in the post. But for some reason, he tries to post up Iguodala, who's probably weighs closer to he weighs. I would love to see him and Kevin Love go in the post more. Because that'll free up those three-point shooters. Because, number one, you're going to get Kevin in foul trouble. Maybe Draymond get in foul trouble. But the main thing, they're not going to let him get in foul trouble, but they're going to double him, get open threes.
And, Matt, with a game of this magnitude, they came out desperation style. They shot the ball well, got a huge lead. Now, when you have a huge lead, everybody can calm down a little bit. We can make a few mistakes in a row, and that right there allowed them to continue to shoot the ball.
Shaq has a great point, because if you go back and look at the last game, even though LeBron and Kyrie were going crazy, they were still down.
Right.
So that pressure is mounting, and then they finally caught up them with exhaustion, and they couldn't make a basket here or there. When you get rolling like that, Shaq has a great point. When you get rolling like that, it frees you up.
Even though they got, 94 out of their big three, one of you said it during the highlight, there was better ball movement tonight and better player movement without the ball from the Cavaliers. What started that, and where was it the first three games?
It's desperation, and I'm saying you just have to be disciplined against the great Lakers teams, against the great Phoenix teams. You have to be disciplined. You can't come down and say, Charles hit a three, I'm going to hit a three. And you saw it tonight. It was those cuts. It was those little things that get you to make the hockey assist. And so I think it was in their style of play. But you have to trust each other, and that's going to be interesting on the road. When you're down 8, when you're down 7, will you not try to just take a three and hoist it yourself? Will you make a cut for an extra person? Because Golden State doesn't really have a post-up player because Durant doesn't post up. But their post-up plays come through layups and backdoor cuts, so they still get those in those shots in the paint. So I look for them, hopefully, to try to keep that going, making cuts, doing the extra pass, and see what happens.
Over the course of the season and the postseason, Golden State actually posts up more than Cleveland, just not necessarily to score. They use it out of the high post.
But that's the one point I want to make. What Shaq said, what Chuck said, excuse me, Chuck, when you said that you want Kevin Love and them to post up, I think what people don't understand is that, let's just say Kevin Love makes 2 post-up moves. If he goes right to the post the next time, 2 guys are coming at him. You don't even have to try to score. So it's about, can you score and then be the decoy inside the post, and that's what he means, I think.
I'm a fan of that. I always feel like it's the fastball, it's the running game in football, it's the fundamental thing that kind of sets up other stuff.
Because that's why I think I want to see Kevin in the post more, because, listen, Draymond's a good player, but Kevin Love's a good player also. But the big one to me is LeBron. If he would post up against Kevin Durant, number one, it'd wear him down on the other end some, but nobody can handle him, and it would force them to double. And that, like I said, that's going to free up JR. That's going to free up Shumpert, because when you played against Shaquille, you had to double him, or he's gonna get a layup, a foul, or a good shot. All great post players, it's always a win-win-win. 3 wins. You're gonna get a good shot, you're gonna get foul trouble, or you're gonna get double teamed. It's always can work.
And to add on to what Chuck is saying, you have to put pressure on the defender.
Yes.
Kevin Durant is averaging 34. He's hiding a lot on defense, and not only that, LeBron is letting them off the hook. So, when Chuck says, we need to get him in the post, you need to get him tired, get him in foul trouble, wear him out, you need to go back at him. You need to make him play both ends. Don't just let him come down and, shoot pull-up threes all the time.
So LeBron James now 4-4, facing elimination in the NBA Finals. We spent a bunch of time talking about pace of play over the last couple of pregame shows in particular, and I know you asked Kevin Love about it. 2 teams each took 87 shots, which is not a ton, but they also took 1 million free throws in this game. 4 to be exact, if my math is right.
Well,
it seemed that the Cavaliers came out at an impossible pace the first 5-6 minutes of the game, then slowed down in the second quarter.
But, Matt, you heard Steve Kerr talk about it. You heard Kevin talk about it. Why you wait to get down 3 to start getting physical?
Right.
And that's where all the free throws come from.
Right.
They should have been physical from game 1. The reason you're physical from game 1, by the time you get to game 4, those little bruises, they add up, sore muscles. You don't feel as springy. That's what happened. Think about it. Last year, they started beating the hell out of Steph. After the first couple games, he wore down. But now, I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same way. And I think that the pace of play is going to be important. Getting the post is going to be important. But I also think, let me go back to the post. You put the referees in a tough position. They're going to make some bad calls in there. You're not going to get fouled sometimes,
right.
and they're going to call them those type of things. And so if you can keep that and wear down, guys get hurt, guys get tired in the game. And if you can keep that in, like you said, it's like the running game for football. And if you don't keep that, it's really hard to impose your will shooting jump shots and fadeaways.
This was not a fun game to officiate.